for Sergeant First Class David Garrison. At this time, I would like to recognize all distinguished guests, family members, friends, and thank them for attending today's ceremony. Today we give special recognition to Sergeant First Class Garrison. Sergeant First Class Garrison is closing out a long, dedicated, and distinguished career of military service. Officiating today's ceremony will be Captain Lane Orge, Delta Company's commander of the 141 Military Intelligence Battalion. We are privileged to have with us today some of Sergeant First Class Garrison's family. Sergeant Garrison, please take a moment and introduce your family members to the crowd.
So I have here with me today my wife Brittany, daughter Jada, and my son Trayton. I'm glad that they can make it.
All right, and now I'm going to read his bio, and I'll just show you. It's pretty long, so bear with me. Sergeant First Class David Garrison was born and raised in Taylorsville, Utah, and is one of 7 children. Before joining the military, Sergeant First Class Garrison served a mission in Costa Rica, where he learned the Spanish language. In August of 2001, Sergeant First Class Garrison joined the military in order to help keep up his Spanish and to pay for college. During his 20-year military career, Sergeant First Class Garrison has served on 2 deployments, one in Iraq from 2003 to 2004, and one to Afghanistan from 2008 to 2009. On his deployment to Iraq, he assisted in setting up the first audio-video forensics department together with support from the DIA and the FBI. In Afghanistan, Sergeant First Class Garrison worked in the Bagram Theater Detention Facility where he assisted the interrogations and conducted research on detainees' backgrounds and threat levels in order to provide recommendations for release or retention to a board of colonels. Sergeant First Class Garrison also assisted with humanitarian missions to Paraguay, Dominican Republic, and Louisiana after Hurricane Katrina. Sergeant Garrison obtained multiple MOSs in his career, starting with the 97 Echo Spanish Linguist, and since 97 Echo MOS was retired, he attended the Human Intelligence course at Camp Williams, where he obtained his 35 Mike MOS as a Human Intelligence Collector. In 2016, after the realignment of the 300th Military Intelligence Brigade to be more SIGINT-centric, Sergeant First Class Garrison went to Goodfellow AFB, where he earned his 35 Papa MOS as a Signals Intelligence Voice Interceptor / Cryptologic Linguist. In 2007, Sergeant First Class Garrison joined the Joint Language Training Center as a Spanish linguist, where he translated Spanish to English in support of the counter-drug program. In 2010, Sergeant First Class Garrison was selected to assist the development of a forensics lab at JLTC, one of the first of its kind for the National Guard. Once the Digital Evidence Lab was formally established to support the DEA in 2012, Sergeant Garrison was selected as the NCOIC of the lab and helped to build the lab from 3 Utah National Guard examiners to 12 Utah National Guard examiners and 3 DEA contractors. In 2016, Sergeant First Class Garrison transitioned to the DEA as the DEA Group Supervisor over the Utah Digital Evidence Laboratory. Currently, the lab has approximately 16 Utah National Guard examiners, 3 DEA contractors, and 2 DEA civilians. During his career in the Utah Army National Guard, Sergeant First Class Garrison has served as a squad leader, platoon sergeant, and most recently as acting first sergeant over the 141st HHD detachment. Sergeant First Class Garrison is married to Brittany Garrison, and they have 2 children, Trayton and Jada, as you guys just were introduced, and 2 dogs, Zuma and Jack. Most important information. Sergeant First Class Garrison likes to collect and digitize vinyl records, and he likes to sing in local choirs as often as he is able to. So, that is the bio. Round of applause for all of his accomplishments. At this time, I'd like to invite Captain Orge to come forward. Sergeant First Class Garrison, would you and your wife also come forward as well?
As they're coming up, I just want to take a few minutes to say how grateful I am for Sergeant First Class Garrison. I met him when I moved up from St. George to work for the counter-drug program, and we were kind of peers. I mean, I was at ESIC, but then he went to group supervisor, Mr. Garrison, and then it's like, oh crap, I better watch what I say around him. But he's always been an example of professionalism, of service, and an example of how a person should be in the National Guard. And so I'm grateful to be here, and I'm grateful that we got him for the last couple months of his career to be able to present and experience this with him. So thank you for that. There is a karaoke machine in there, so now, like after that bio, you have to get up. So we're excited to hear it.
All right, so Captain Orange will now present a certificate of appreciation to Mrs. Garrison from the Utah National Guard. The spouse certificate reads as follows. Certificate of appreciation from the Utah National Guard for the support you have given your husband during his honorable and distinguished service to the Utah Army National Guard and the United States of America. Your commitment to endure the hardships brought on by times of separation throughout his service enabled him to complete his commitment to protect our freedoms and serve the citizens of the United States and our nation. All right, let's get a round of applause for Mrs. Garrison.
Wives and or spouses and children do not get the credit that they deserve. I am a firm believer that they actually go through more of the hardship. For us, it's just work and our minds are busy, but for them, they have to keep everything afloat at home. And I've spent time at home with my kids alone, and it's hard. So I thank you for everything you've done.
Thank you. Thank you. Sergeant First Class Garrison with some other certificates and letters of appreciation. So this one's from the Adjutant General of Utah. What?
And the governor.
And the governor. And now we will present him with his retirement certificate. Ooh, that's a big one, guys. Let's give it up. We also have one from the Sergeant Major of the Army and the Secretary of the Army as well.
Chief of Staff.
Chief of Staff.
Pretty cool.
And then as well, for Sergeant Archer has a gift from the company to present to Sergeant First Class Garrison.
Okay, so while Garrison was with us for a long time, and then he left to be an acting first sergeant for HHD. During that time, we actually redid our logo. Some of you probably don't even know what the new logo is. Some may not even care, but I think it's pretty cool. So we went from that Punisher skull with the headphones on, which really doesn't represent singing, right? To be honest. But then we got the new one that has like the Greek and Roman symbology on it. And in the middle of that symbol is a gladiator sword. Okay, and so Garrison is here to actually receive our first traditional gladiator sword that we're going to start giving out, that we want to start as a tradition. So this is something I learned based off of that logo that someone created for us, is that when a gladiator is awarded their freedom, they're given a wooden gladiator sword. And that represents all the stuff they went through and their freedom. So we thought it would be cool to start that tradition because serving 20 plus years in the National Guard may not be as hard as wearing a loincloth and fighting fit, but it's pretty close. Okay? So from the company, we wanted to present him his freedom and a gladiator.
I don't think I need a microphone. Can everyone hear me? Anyone?
Yes.
Yes, okay. So Sergeant First Class Garrison and I joined a few years before he did, but we have a lot of similarities. We both went to Iraq in 03, 04. We did the Afghanistan deployment in 08, 09. We were in different companies. We had different jobs. I've been SIGINT the entire time. So, we were on the periphery, knew each other, but never well. The first time I really started to get to know him was when I became the Command Sergeant Major of the 141, and Sergeant First Class Garrison was the HHD NCOIC. And so I just want to take a few seconds and thank you for your service. Thank you, not just in the last year and a half since I've been here, but for your entire career. Thank you very much. And as Captain Orge mentioned, often we don't thank the families enough. I have a daughter in college who recently had to write an essay to get in, or to apply for a scholarship. And having read that essay and read some of her thoughts about what it was like being a military child, I can just, to all the kids here, thank you for your willingness to share your parents with us. I recognize that it's a sacrifice, and thank you. So especially thank you to you two, and to all the other kids, thank you for your willingness to share your kids or your parents with us. We truly do appreciate that. So, congratulations on your retirement. I want to say thank you, and well-earned and well-deserved. Enjoy. And I'm also in a choir. We have a performance tonight, and I'm recruiting Sergeant Garrison, now that he's doing that, to join our choir. So.
All right, we've got one more award. Attention to orders. To all who shall see these presents, greeting. This is to certify that the President of the United States of America, authorized by executive order, has awarded the Meritorious Service Medal to Sergeant First Class David H. Garrison, Delta Company 141 Military Intelligence Battalion Linguist, for exceptionally meritorious service for over 20 years and culminating as the HHD Detachment Sergeant for the 141st Military Intelligence Battalion. Sergeant First Class Garrison demonstrated exceptional leadership, perseverance, and sacrifice in multiple combat deployments, civil relief efforts, and in the training of Signals Intelligence soldiers. His extraordinary example and efforts significantly improved the readiness of the Utah National Guard in both cyber and Signals Intelligence operations. His years of service have contributed greatly to the welfare of service members around the globe and to the security of the nation. His actions are in keeping with the finest traditions of military service and reflect great credit upon himself, the Utah Army National Guard, and the United States Army.
Ready.
All right, now we're going to turn it over to you for some remarks.
So, this is crazy. 20 years. I really didn't know if this was going to come. But it has, and I'm very grateful for it. I'm especially grateful to my wife and children for their amazing support and all that they've had to, endure with me being gone as much as I have. I'm grateful to them and for the support that they've given me. 20 years, a lot has happened in 20 years. And all of the good things that have happened to me in the military has been because of good leadership. Because of leaders that have believed in me and supported me. And you want to bring out the best in your soldiers? Believe in them and support them. Enable them. When you enable them, that's when the power comes. And so as you become leaders, remember that. Enable those that are below you. Believe in them. Support them. I'm very grateful to those leaders. And I wouldn't be here today if it wasn't for them. I would have given up a long time ago. So, as soldiers, just remember, you signed up for this, right? When you are unhappy about what's happening, when you are out there in the field and it's cold, and you're in the mud, and you're out there with weapons qual, or you're doing the ACFT, just remember, you signed up for this. You can't blame anybody but yourself. So, don't give up. There's no reason to give up. Work harder than everybody else. You know, I'm a true believer in working harder and smarter, not, you know, just smarter. Do both. You know, go be there before everybody else. Don't leave until everybody else is gone. Work harder and smarter. And believe in yourself. Have a positive attitude. Positive attitude goes a long way. And I think this is probably the best company in the Utah National Guard. I've been here my entire 20-year career, right here in Orem. I've been through all the transitions in this company, and it really is the best company. And right now, I think this company has the best soldiers. Seeing you guys support each other, especially in the MRT training, where you share and you care and you listen, there's no better place to be right now. Some amazing soldiers in this company. And, you know, I will miss you. And I'm grateful to have served alongside you. And so now, I hope you all enjoy the wonderful food and the party. So that's all I have. Thanks.
All right, you said it best. Enjoy the party, guys. Thank you.